And so if you are in a hard season right now, I want you to hear me. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. This is not the time to wear the cape. You don't have to pretend like everything is okay. Welcome to Remix Moments with Martine, where we will remix your mindset one moment at a time. I'm your host, Martine Williams, and I'm here to bring you a quick burst of inspiration, insight, and a fresh spin on your mompreneur journey. In just a few minutes, we'll remix your mindset, energize your day, and keep you moving forward with purpose. Let's dive in to today's moment. Well, hey friends, and welcome back to Life Coaching for Mompreneurs. This episode is just kind of a continuation of what I kind of opened up with last week and shared with you. So if you didn't catch last week's episode, I shared about a personal season that I'm going through right now that it is very heavy. My mother-in-law was recently diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and she is now living with us. And so while I love business strategy and leadership and coaching, right now, I just can't ignore the weight of what life looks like behind the scenes. And I know I'm not the only one. And there are parts of my business right now that I am letting go of for this season. But I just really feel led to come on the podcast every week, even if it's just for a short time, to talk about this. And I was a part of a 2-part training back in January and February, and I was in a room with men and women that I had never met before who displayed the most powerful way to connect with people. And one of the things that I wrote, I was actually just looking through my notebook, is I wrote that real authentic vulnerability is the most powerful tool to create safety and connection with others. It accelerates connection with others like I've never seen before. And I had the opportunity during those sessions to really see what real authentic vulnerability looks like, and people just sharing with complete strangers some of the struggles that people have been through, and lifing and all the things. And so as I've been thinking about how I want to navigate this season for however long it is, going completely silent and turning off the mic just didn't feel right for whatever reason. And so I'm going to take you along this journey and, share the things that I'm learning, and hopefully some things that will help you if you find yourself navigating hard times. One thing I do know is none of us are exempt from hard seasons. And so whether you're coming out of one, you're in one, or you're heading into one, I hope that these episodes of me kind of opening up and sharing with you will create safety for you to process what you need to process, to talk about what you need to talk about. And again, I think sometimes I've shared this before that, we have it's not a bad habit, but we just have this a thing we do, right? With the people that we look up to, the people that have taught us a lot, people that have mentored us or coached us, even virtually, we kind of put them up on a pedestal, right? Like I've done that with several of my mentors. And then we think they don't go through hard times, or we think they have it all together. And sometimes that can create a disconnect, right? Where you're like, she doesn't understand me maybe, or it looks good for her, but maybe it won't work for me type of thing. And I always want to create a place of safety and connection for you with me, because I do go through hard things, and I have struggled through hard things. I mean, I feel like the last 4 years have been waves of this, and I'm thankful that I have already begun the work over the last year with untangling my emotions and really doing the hard work there, the work that I have pushed down into the depths of not wanting to deal with, right? Not wanting to talk about, not wanting to give myself permission to feel some of those things. I'm a fixer by nature, and so I'm really good at fixing my feelings, but you know what? Sometimes you just need to feel them. A lot of times you need to feel them. And so I'm thankful that I'd already begun this work before we headed into this storm, because I do feel way more equipped. But my point in saying all that is, there are times where I don't feel led to talk about it. And there's times where I feel led to wait until I'm on the other side of the struggle to really kind of, go back and share. I've said my past struggles have always become my present purposes, but I just feel like the Lord's telling me and calling me to just be really honest and vulnerable on the podcast and talk about this season that I'm in. So today I really want to talk about what it looks like to lead your business while carrying life's burdens, because let's be honest, life doesn't stop just because you're an entrepreneur, right? We have so many amazing flexibilities as an entrepreneur when life happens, but life happens and it can get heavy, and running a business takes energy, it takes focus, it takes creativity. But when you're also carrying something heavy like what I'm carrying now, whether it's caregiving or grief or health struggles or any other personal burden, your capacity feels stretched thin. Right now, my capacity feels very stretched thin. And you might feel like I have, guilty for not being as productive as before. I mean, every day it's something that I am thinking through. Maybe you have felt or feel overwhelmed by the tension between business demands and family needs. Maybe unsure of how to show up for your clients or your audience authentically, right? Like, again, I've struggled with how much do I share? What do I share? Or you're just plain exhausted trying to keep it all together. And I can definitely resonate with that. And if in true transparency, prior to, I would say, a year ago, I probably wouldn't even have admitted that. I wouldn't have admitted that this is hard. I wouldn't have admitted that it's hard on all levels, because I'm the strong one, right? I'm the encourager. I'm the one who helps other people. And I think it's just a testimony to the growth and the work that the Lord has done in my heart and in my growth over this last year to be able to say this is exhausting. Because it's not that you don't love your work. It's not that I don't love my work. It's that right now the load that you're carrying and the load that I'm carrying is heavier than usual. It is. And I was just texting with a friend who reached out to me after receiving my email, kind of giving everyone an update. And she was just like, I cried reading your email because she understands it, right? And another one reached out and just, asked if they could pray or anything they could do. And I just said to them, I know that God is with us and in this moment, and I know that He has a plan. And this is the part that I, for so many years, did not allow because I was stuck in the performance loop, right? Performing for, as a mom, performing as a wife, and performing as an entrepreneur, and is allowing the humanness to have the human experience in a really hard time. Just because I am a believer and I have big faith doesn't mean that I am not human, and I need to allow myself to feel all the feelings, even the ones I don't want to feel, the hard ones, the sadness and the grief and the hardness. And so, most of us respond in one of two ways. Number one, we overcompensate. We try to act like nothing has changed, keeping the same pace, saying yes to everything, proving that we can handle it all. That would have been the Martine for many, many, many years. But that often leads to burnout, and it leads to resentment, right? Resenting that everyone else is, continue on with their life and they have no idea what you're dealing with, and because you haven't told them and you expect them to read your mind. So we overcompensate, or we pull back completely. It's like your brain goes into this all or nothing mentality where you either overcompensate, overperform, or you just pull back completely and you freeze. We go quiet. We avoid our work altogether. But then we lose momentum, and that doesn't feel good. And the business we built begins to suffer. Neither extreme is sustainable. So really catching yourself, and me catching myself when my brain tries to go into that all or nothing mentality is really key, because it doesn't work that way. It's not all or nothing. What I have realized over this last year, and particularly in this situation, is that we have to learn to lead from where we are. You don't need to lead as if nothing has changed. You need to lead from where you are. That means showing up authentically. That means honoring your season, adjusting your rhythm so that you're not pouring from an empty cup. Because here's the truth, you can carry both your business and your burdens, but not by pretending that you have unlimited capacity. right? One of the beautiful things about the Pro Scan, you've heard me talk about the personality performance assessment I use with all of my clients, is yes, it tells you who you are in your natural strengths, like how you were designed to operate naturally. But the other thing about seeing that information and knowing that information is the Pro Scan also gives you the flexibility to ask the question, who do I need to become right now in this season? And we all have those becoming moments. We all have those milestone moments. Some of those are really good and positive, like getting your first job, going to college, having your first child, getting married. Like all of those things are really exciting milestones. And you get to ask the question, who do I need to become? Right? Because knowing who you are naturally is not about saying, well, this is just who I am and you just got to deal with it, right? Or I just have to deal with it. No, that's not what we're saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's not how I'm coaching. But you also get to ask the question, who do I need to become right now to achieve what I need to achieve? And so it's a question I've been asking myself as I'm navigating this as an entrepreneur. Who do I need to become right now? Right now is not the time for me to become the high performing, high achieving, goal oriented entrepreneur. It's just not. If I try to be that person or stay that person, it's going to create burnout. It's going to create maybe some regret of how I spent my time. So I want to share with you that being honest with yourself in this season, not pretending, not protecting, not proving that you have unlimited capacity. Because we all have a natural capacity for energy, and that's another thing that the Pro Scan will show you. And we all have opportunities to grow our capacity, right? In seasons where there's more required of you, yes, you can grow your capacity, but sometimes that's not the answer. Could I grow my capacity right now? Am I growing my capacity? Yeah, I'm growing my capacity to be more empathetic. I'm growing my capacity to be more kind to myself in this process. So it's a different type of capacity. It's not turning on all cylinders and pushing through. Hey, friend, let's talk. It's time to book your clarity call. We are going to spend 1 full hour focused on you. A clarity call isn't about pressure. It's about possibilities. It's about you. You having a space to talk through what's on your heart and mind, you walking away with a clear vision and practical next steps, and you feeling confident in what's next and how to get there. You don't need to have it all figured out. That's my job. All you need to do is show up and we'll figure it out together. This is the best hour you can invest in yourself right now. Not in 6 months from now, not next month, right now. And don't just take my word for it. Here's what one of my coaching clients had to say after working together.
Martine is probably the most versatile coach out there. She meets you where you are, whether it's personal or professional challenges, mindset, ideas, brainstorming, or digging into business analytics. She's so relatable and accepting that I truly believe she could help almost anyone.
That transformation, it starts with one conversation. It's time to stop spinning your wheels and start making real progress. So head right now to martinewilliams.com or in the show notes and grab your private clarity call spot on my calendar before they're gone. And since I personally monitor my inbox, if you don't see a time slot that fits your calendar, just send me an email at martinewilliams.com with 3 times that do work, and I will make it work for you. All right, friend, let's get back to the show. So my process that I've been kind of thinking through and the anchors that are leading in the hard season right now for me is number one, prioritizing ruthlessly. Like really asking myself, what are the true essentials? What are the true essentials in my business right now? Listen, before 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I had opportunities, and I'm probably still, those opportunities are still there, being featured in some really big publications, pitching to do a lot more keynote speaking, and I've had opportunities for that. Like, so all of these things I was working on, everything was moving in the right direction, and then life happened, right? What's really essential right now? Those events are still going to be there. Those publications are still going to be there. And, I am doing the best I can with the information that I have right now and the capacity that I have right now. And some things I'm still saying yes to, and some things I'm saying no to. Because I know that my energy is limited. Your energy is limited. So I have to give it to what matters most, both in life and business. It might mean scaling back content. I'm not on social media as powerfully as I have been before. This is not the first time that I've taken a social media break. But I'm so thankful that I took the one that I did last year because even in the break, my business exploded. I mean, it really did show me that I don't have to live my life on social media to have and reach the women that I feel called to reach. But you're probably going to see me scale back on social media. I might scale back on the podcast. I really am just taking it week to week. I'm saying no more often. I'm focusing on only the revenue driving activities in my business right now. I don't have time for anything else. I don't have the time, the mental space, the decision space to be thinking about big visions right now. The second part of the second anchor is communicating honestly. I'm communicating honestly with you. I'm communicating honestly with my clients. I'm communicating honestly with the team and those that are supporting me. Those people, your people, they don't need a polished version of you. They need the real you. So share what you can, obviously with boundaries. I'm not sharing all the details with all of you, but let people know what to expect. Because again, authenticity builds trust. And it also gives permission. Like I think about the women that I serve, and I was actually again texting with one this morning. Like I'm having to practice what I coach right now. And people don't need the perfect version of you because there is none, first of all, spoiler alert, but they want the real version. They want the authenticity because that allows them to be authentic with themselves. That allows them to take off the mask. That allows them to be human. I think it's a conversation we don't have enough as moms and entrepreneurs that we have a human experience to life. And I think culture and society expects us to wear a cape all the time. And we're not superhumans. We're not. When you try to be superhuman, you become a super worn out human. I think Lisa Turkis said that in one of her books. And the third anchor is care for the caregiver. So you are your greatest asset. That's nothing new. You've heard me talk about that on the podcast before, but being a caregiver has taken that to a whole new level for me. If you're depleted, both your family and your business will feel it. It will. So protect your rhythms, your sleep, your nourishment, your rest, your prayer time, your joy, even in small ways. Like this is not about making huge adjustments. You might have to make some, but really protecting you because you are the asset to the person you're caring for. You're the asset to the family. You're the asset to your clients. And so control the controllables. What can you control? You can control what you do. You can control what you think. You can control what you eat, how you sleep for the most part. And so care for the caregiver. I'm caring for myself. And one of those ways is, again, just being so kind and giving myself so much grace in this process. I'm having conversations I've never had before. I am doing things that I've never done before. And so there's just so much grace that is needed in a season like this for yourself and for others because they're also navigating something they never navigated before. My mother-in-law is navigating something. I mean, can you imagine just in 2 weeks, you went from playing tennis 3 or 4 days a week to now you're not living independently anymore? It's just, it's hard. That's the word I keep saying. You've heard me say that before. But the results of doing this work that I'm talking about today in leading from where you are is sustainable leadership. When you lead from where you are, instead of forcing yourself to lead like nothing has changed, you create peace because you're aligned with your season instead of fighting it. Like putting your head in the sand and acting like nothing's happening or pushing yourself to the point of exhaustion because you want to keep things the way they always are. It's not the reality right now. And peace will come because you've aligned with your season versus fighting it. Trust. Trust is a result of because your honesty resonates more than a polished image ever could. Being honest with your clients, being honest with your family, being honest with your friends, being honest with yourself creates more trust than a polished version ever could be. Resilience. Resilience because you're building rhythms that sustain you, not drain you. I am building new rhythms that are sustaining me right now, and it's building my resilience. And, I think I've shared here before, but I think resilience is like bouncing back. I see resilience as growing through. That's kind of my definition, growing through the hard times, not just bouncing back, but learning to grow through those times. And then the last result is clarity because you're focused on what matters most, not everything all at once. And there's nothing like a crisis of any kind that creates so much clarity around what really matters in this world. And as I get on social media over the last week or two and just seeing all the things that we always see every day on social media, it really just brings me back to none of this matters. It really doesn't when you're faced with what we're facing right now. So it just really helps you to get focused on what matters most. So your business doesn't have to collapse under the weight of your burdens, and you don't have to collapse under the weight of your business. You can find harmony. You've heard me talk about harmony before. Harmony is better than balance. Balance is a trap. Quite frankly, it's BS. And I want you to know that you can still have harmony. You don't have to close up shop unless you want to with your business. If that feels right and aligned for you, do it. There is no right or wrong way to navigate a crisis because they're all different. How I navigate it might not be exactly how you navigate it, but I'm sharing with you what is working for me right now. And so if you are in a hard season right now, I want you to hear me. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. This is not the time to wear the cape. You don't have to pretend like everything is okay. But you can show up. You can keep showing up, even imperfectly, and still make an impact. Life and business are not separate lanes. My coach said that to me a couple weeks ago as I was canceling a call, and I just told her what was going on. And she said, they're not separate lanes. One spills into the other. So if we can support you, if I can support you, not business strategy, but to support you in this, they're not separate lanes. They overlap. And learning to lead from where you are is one of the most powerful things that you can model. And I hope it's one of the most powerful things that I can model for you as you tune into this podcast, because you don't have to choose between carrying the burden and leading well. You can do both, and you can do it with grace, and you can do it with kindness, and you can do it with authenticity, and you can do it with strength. So I wanted to just, again, come on the podcast, and I'm going to keep showing up as I feel led to share. And some weeks that might be 2 episodes, some weeks that might be 1 episode, some weeks there might be no episodes. We'll just see how this goes. But thank you for tuning in and for the encouragement that you're sending. And I just appreciate all the support that's coming through on the other end of the mic. And I will catch you on our next episode. And you know that I'm believing in you always. Well, that's it, friends, for this remix moment. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me, and I hope that you are feeling inspired and ready to take on whatever comes your way. Remember, even small moments can lead to big changes. If this moment made a difference, be sure to subscribe, share with your fellow moms, and leave me a quick review. Seriously, it means the world to me to hear from you. And until next time, I am believing in you, and I will catch you in the next moment.